Are you ready to start mentoring yet? I hope so, because mentoring is such a powerful way of working. It can help you grow your skills, your confidence, and your capabilities. And that's not all. Mentoring itself is a way of making a connection, learning to help someone else, learning to be part of a professional relationship. But a lot of people don't mentor, and that's a pity, a lost opportunity for so many. So today I'm going to take you through the pitfalls and show you how, using my free tool, you can get started today on being either a mentor or a mentee. Next on projectskillmentor.com. Well, hi everybody, I'm Liz and I am the Project Skills Mentor, and I talk about projects, teams, user journeys and stories, and mentoring. And that's what we're talking about today. If you're interested in mentoring someone or being mentored by someone who might have a little bit more experience than you, then you've come to the right place. This is the process for you. Let me take you through it and let me show you how it works, and then we'll get into some lessons learned. Let's talk about the blockers. What's stopping you from mentoring? It could be you don't have a clear sense of what your goals are. And if so, I've got a video on how to make a goal, so check that out. Another thing could be you don't know how to find a mentor, and I've got a video for that too, so check that out. But if those blockers have been resolved, you're ready to start. Maybe you found a mentee or a mentor and are ready to start a mentorship. Now, for me, a mentorship is important. The concept of mentorship is important because it means even though one person might be more experienced in one area, both people bring something to the relationship. And that's important because no matter the age, no matter the experience, both people have a point of view, some kind of experience, and something to share. And that mutual goal sharing and mutual beneficial relationship is the basis of great mentorship. In this workbook, there are 2 pages for mentee and 2 pages for mentor, and these are meant to be done generally once. First, you're going to introduce yourself to your mentor or mentee. And even if you already know them, this is your chance to kind of set the stage for how you want to bring yourself to the mentorship, what you think is important to share. So you're going to have 5 things to share. If you have less, that's fine, but the idea is that you're going to bring things that are important to you. And that's going to be important in the first meeting because your counterpart is going to want to listen carefully to why you bring these messages. Also, you're going to want to do a personal SWOT analysis. We all have done these before probably, but if you haven't, you need to know you got to be open, real, and honest with yourself. Now, strengths and weaknesses are often something we kind of consider. We might know those and it may be easy to call them out. Opportunities and threats might be a little bit harder. But think of it this way. A strength you haven't realized could be an opportunity. And a weakness that's causing you some problems or blocking you could be a threat. Once you've completed that, you want to go on to your goal page. And that's the next page, again, for mentees and mentors. The first thing you're going to want to do is talk about your personal goals. So these might be goals that you're working on outside of the mentorship, long-term plans, ambitions you have for yourself, which is great. It's a great way for the mentor to understand you or the mentee to appreciate where you are in life. The next set of goals, however, is the ones you want to talk about in the partnership. And in your mentorship, these will help you have the conversation about what topics you want your mentorship to be about. So they don't always need to be the same, they can be. But the idea is that you are clear about the goals you want to bring into the mentorship. Now, when both the mentee and mentor have completed this, you're ready for your first meeting. It can also be your mentee or mentor has never seen this document before, so your first meeting may be an introduction of this form and this process. That's okay too. But a little hint, if you want to send the link to your mentee or mentor before the process and say, hey, I'm going to fill this out, will you do the same? That can be another way to start preparing for your first meeting. And I think the important part to this is getting ready for that first meeting means you're not walking in cold. You kind of already know what you want to talk about. And that's really nice to break the ice so it's not awkward at the first meeting. But at any rate, you want to have your first meeting, and maybe it's an hour long, which is really what I suggest. You're going to take at least half the time, 30 minutes, for each person to speak for about 15 minutes to do this introduction part, to show these 2 pages and talk them through. Share something about yourself, your personal ambition, your way of working, your hopes and your dreams. This is an important part of getting to know each other and not just jumping into actions and input and advice. You don't want to do that. You want to get to know each other at least a little bit. And if you need the full hour, take it. This getting to know you part is important. But if you can, try to move on to at least the next couple of pages. just to get yourself ready for your next meetings and to keep yourself on point for what mentorship actually is. And mentorship should be helping two people grow in the direction or the path they determine for themselves. So again, if you have time, go through this next page, the Mentorship Contract. It's got a couple of really important attributes here, and I'll call this housekeeping for the sake of a term, but it's important to get it out of the way so that you don't have to keep coming back to it. Again, this is a one and done kind of document unless your mentorship lasts a very long time. And it has two important things, confidentiality and way of working. Confidentiality is paramount to any mentorship. Trust is the cornerstone. You need to trust that any great idea or problem at work or problem at home you share is not going to get outside that conversation. Also, if you share a document, you would not expect that document to go, again, outside the partnership unless it's agreed by both parties beforehand. So read it, sign it, agree to it, and make sure you stick to that because it is part of your integrity as a person to do so. Now you've got that out of the way, talk about the way of working. When are you going to meet? How often? Where will you meet? And who will help prepare all the documentation? Now that you've got the housekeeping out of the way, you want to go on to the next page, which talks about shared goals and expectations. You've got your original documentation on the goals you want to bring each of you into the partnership. Come up with maybe 2 or 3 goals you want to take into the partnership once you've had a conversation in your introduction. This will help you narrow down the goals you're going to work on, which is important, focus is important, but also be really clear about maybe where things intersect. Maybe I'm working on a term paper or a thesis and you're interested in that topic and actually working on something similar. So note those, but also note the very different kind of goals you're going to have. And each person, whether mentee or mentor, should have at least one goal on that page. Next, you're going to talk about accountability and expectations. So what do you expect and who do you expect it from? So all of those kind of expectations, again, that help make things run smoothly. That's all you want to do. Now you're ready for the fun part, the brainstorming of your roadmap. Let's say you decide you're going to have a 3-month mentorship. That roadmap is for those 3 months. So here again, we have Jack and Mary in my example version of picking the most important goal for them to start with. That's that focus part we talked about. And they not only have the goal, which is written there in red, but they have the timing, the action, and the outcomes they're looking for. This way, there's accountability to the process. Building this roadmap together can take a few cycles. So you might want some extra pages to kind of brainstorm, review, but then land on a version of this that you both share and use as your going forward document. The next one that's important to get to for your meeting, even if it's only for a few minutes, is the meeting planner. The meeting planner helps you get ready for your next meeting and be prepared. So in this, you want to number the meeting so you know which number it is and the date. And this helps you look over time at all the meetings you've had to kind of see the flow, see the progress, see the actions one by one get ticked off. But in this, I suggest a 3-item agenda. Generally in 1 hour, that is plenty. Next, you want to really laser focus on the area you're working on, your goal, and the actions related to that listed below. And every now and again, maybe once every month or every 3 months, you want to go through the last part, which is checking how the mentorship is going. That is including your goal. If you're not getting your goals done, then your mentorship may not be working right away. And also, if your goals are being done, you still may have some things you want to tweak about your mentorship. Because if the mentorship isn't working for one person, it's probably not working for the other person either. And this is important. This is part of the open and honest part that really makes mentorships work. And if you've agreed at the beginning on how long your mentorship will work, such as we're going to do this for 6 months and see how it goes, or until our goal is completed, you might have one more document you're going to use, the evaluation. Even if I'm in a long-term mentorship of 1 to 2 years, every 6 months I like to complete this just to see where we are, and also if we finished a goal to make sure we're moving on to a new one. And that keeps the mentorship in a growth phase. It doesn't stagnate. Looking back, seeing how things were, and writing it down so your lessons learned can be meaningful to you and you can track them over time. Looking forward, making a new plan, making a new roadmap, or deciding on new training, certification, or other things you want to do to strengthen that skill set you're trying to improve or that capability you want to build. So that's it, my mentoring process. And if you want to go to the blog below and download it, you'll also see at the bottom of my blog 8 lessons learned. And I think those are important, so check them out. You might be interested in self-mentoring, or peer mentoring, and I've got videos for that. I'll link here. And I hope to see you next time on projectskillsmentor.com. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.